The goal is not to hate your job. The goal is something much different. You probably hate your job right now. That's a lot of people right now, and I completely understand that. But a lot of people don't understand that hate was once love. So we one time were super, super excited to have this job, and we were very excited to start, and then we started to hate it. Instead of falling into these roller coaster rides that you have with your job where you're super let down and then you're also super excited one day and then you get let down again, the important part is to stay neutral about your job. I get a lot of questions just in really, really toxic situations at work, and people go, well, what happens if I hate my boss? What happens if my coworkers are being toxic? That can happen. And unfortunately, it has nothing to do with you, and it's also none of your business. It feels really good to hate a job. Like, I've totally been at jobs before where I didn't agree with upper management time and time and time again, and it was very fun for me and my coworkers to talk about how much we hated it. I understand it's a human part of just being a human. I completely get it. But there's something about staying neutral about the job that's really important. So when I talk about lazy girl jobs, when I talk about work-life balance, I think a lot of people think it's just limiting your time, and that's work-life balance, but it's also limiting your emotional capacity that you have for the job. If you look at something and you go, oh, well, I'm practicing really good work-life balance. I'm, only working 6 hours right now. I'm really getting my work done, but I still hate stuff. It's because you're letting stuff live rent-free in your head. Even when you're not working, when you're off the clock on a Sunday night, you're still letting it live rent-free in your head. And that's not really time off. That's not restorative time. You're still thinking about work and ruminating on the things that you're resentful for. There's something cool to just rolling it off. There's something cool to being able to just go with the flow. It's almost like being delusional at your job. So it's kind of just going like, oh, this thing's on fire again. Oh, upper management made a poor decision again. Life goes on. And I'm not being toxic. It's not this like overly toxic positivity where I'm going like, your feelings don't matter, just gaslight them and keep going. What I'm saying is that there's beauty in letting the things at work that bother you roll off for you and your happiness. It also protects you in moments when you get laid off. Because here's the thing that I watched in 2021, I want to say I watched about 9,000 people get laid off at Google. And I saw people have these really huge personal identity crises because they were so wrapped around being a Googler that it was earth-shattering news. What happens if being a Googler or being whatever employment status that you have is just a part of you, and it's not something when it's taken away out of your control, you're not as hurt when it happens. This is the true Gen Z attitude about work moving forward, is we're just looking at all this disappointment in the workplace right now, and instead of getting super mad at it, we can shift into this neutral state and it would be a lot happier.